was not your average anime.
Yeah.
I think that was early on when it happened, and it just really blew me away. And I was really excited about it because in my mind I was thinking, okay, this show is not afraid to make some really intense choices with the story and the characters. Certain people dying, if you know what I'm talking about. But I always, even when I was young, I loved movies where the directors and producers weren't afraid to kill the character if it was good, if it meant the story would be more powerful. Instead of like going to a movie and going, well, that's Tom Cruise, he's not going to die. He'll fall off a 60-story building and be dragged behind a Mack, but he's not going to die. These were the main character, the big star, and he's going to be killed because the story it's about the story. It's about the power of the story. So when things like that with Nina happened and other characters, it just endeared me to the story because I knew that the creators were not afraid to make some serious choices that would ultimately make the story more powerful.
My question is, have you guys had, as far as
we had feel something honestly a lot of things, right? I don't know about you guys, I'm pretty critical of my work. It's one of those things where if I see something that I'm in, all I want to do is do it again. Oh, okay, well, I think I can do it a bit better. But at the same time, no, man, I do awesome. See that? What's that? Okay, I got. Oh, there's one role that okay. What else you got?
It's really hard to be creative sometimes because you don't get to choose necessarily the take that they use. Like you'll do 4 or 5 takes, and you'll be like, well, we got something, and I think this last 2 were really good for something, and then you will know which one they use. Sometimes you get the benefit of knowing maybe they place it right there or whatever. That's really good, but it's difficult because it's kind of out of your control. So I feel like I could have done. They could have used another acting or but
since we're talking about Full Metal a lot this weekend, I will use that as an example. When I got the role of Ed, I started listening to the subs. I thought, oh crap, I can't sound like Romy. I can't. She's a girl for one, and she's got a higher. I remember a person more feminine, and I went into one of the higher my Russians going, try. I was really nervous because the more I found out about the show, the more daunting the role was, and I was like, I've got to do a good job with this. And the directors were like, no, keep it where you've got it because that's what the Japanese chose. What you're doing is what they want. Yeah. In fact, Japanese let it be what they wanted in be a little more converted to be in mainly American. And wanted it, and the same thing went around a little bit. You may not know this, but they went around with trying to decide whether to hire a girl to play out because traditionally girls like Lucy and they play and Tiffany Grant play young boys really well. They do the roles very well, and they couldn't decide whether or not to actually hire a little kid or to be a better woman to do it. And as you can imagine, one of the big, this is an episode itself. A mother and everywhere to find a little kid to play Ed when he was little. And they called me one day in Houston and said, Vic, we can't find anybody we've auditioned 20 kids, little boys. We can't find anybody that really sounds like your voice. And more than that, can pull off the heaviness of the role. You remember that episode. Well, imagine when we're trying to get an 8-year-old to pull off that kind of passion and that kind of intensity. It's not like, and so they decided they had me do it. I just did the best I could with it, and we kind of notched it up a pitch, another 2 pitch as well. Different, roles. They're probably to do different. There could be 5 people that could done and they would all do 5 job with it, play different. So with it.